Hello everybody and welcome to another exciting episode of Andrew Rants, the video series where I stand upon my metaphorical soapbox pedestal of the world and I bitch and complain about everything around me that annoys me, bothers me, pisses me off, and makes me wonder why Thanos' snap couldn't happen faster. No, seriously, why? But anyway, today I'm not talking about Thanos, though I am talking about the Marvel Universe. And I'm talking about one character from the DC Universe that I still think should go over to Marvel. Now, I've done a video on this before. I've done a rant video, in fact, on this before. But I feel like this needs a part 2 to it. So, what else can I say? I still think Static Shock should be moved over to Marvel. And I'm going to tell you why. Now, for those of you that don't know, yes, there's a major legality thing with Static Shock. It's actually not owned by DC. It's owned by a different company that licensed the rights to DC. However, DC doesn't know what the hell it's doing anymore. Let's face facts. The DCEU was a train wreck. I mean a smoldering dumpster fire of a train wreck. It didn't know what it wanted to be when it was hip. God help it if it knew what it wanted to be when it wasn't hip. No, the DCEU was a mess. Hence why I'm glad it's done. It imploded upon itself. Then again, WB had their heads firmly up their buttholes. It didn't matter. Their heads were up their hamster holes. There was nothing you could do. The only two movies that managed to survive the DCEU were Wonder Woman and Aquaman. And that's because they were unique for coming out when they did. Hell, Wonder Woman was unique because it was the first female superhero movie you actually got. So, yeah, that's what. Because then Captain Marvel came out earlier this year, and it wasn't met with such hot praise. But Static Shock deserved much better treatment than WB gave it. Hell, a lot of people on Twitter, after one of the comments was put up, somebody put up a tweet saying that Static Shock really needs to come back. And I'm not going to lie, it does. The world does need Virgil Hawkins, a.k.a. Static Shock. We need him back. He's one of those heroes that honestly got the short end of the stick, and he didn't deserve it. We have an entire Teen Titans Go, sort of thing with Young Justice, but that's on the DC streaming site. And the only reason why they made that was because Marvel at the time had a deal yet with Netflix, and they were stroking it in front of them. Oh, look, we got so much streaming going on. Yeah, isn't it fun? How'd you think that DC was going to handle this, Marvel? They're going to come out with their own streaming service. Then you ditch Netflix. First off, the first smartest move you've ever done. You ditch Netflix because Disney was yanking most of their stuff off of it. Honestly, Disney, I'm proud of you for that. That was a good move. But DC decides to come out with its own streaming service. $74.99. I'm never getting over that, by the way. To have what? Some animated movies, some old movies, a couple original TV shows, which, by the way, when in the holy hell was Cyborg a part of Doom Patrol? I actually asked my supervisor at work, who knows comic books, and he gave me this look like I was on drugs from Mars. When the hell was Cyborg ever a member of Doom Patrol? He wasn't, as far as I know. He was always a Teen Titan. But no, Cyborg's part of Doom Patrol. Why? Because you did Teen Titans. Nobody's, the same one. You only got 4 Titans. You have Robin, but I swear that's more Nightwing. Starfire, Raven's like a teenager that's like an emo chick. And Beast Boy, who's, okay, that's pretty much spot on for Beast Boy. I'll give you that. But you have that on your streaming service. And people are going, well, you need to bring back Static Shock. Yes, Static Shock needs to come back, but not with DC. DC didn't do it right. Warner Brothers screwed it. Yes, I know the legality prevented a majority of it from happening, but they didn't have to end it. Their claim was because the toy sales were low. Really? I hardly ever saw any toys for that thing on the shelves. How can you have low sales for something that doesn't exist? When I was a kid when that show was out. So you know damn well I was walking around the toy section of my Walmart, Target. Hell, I was frequenting KB Toys. You cannot tell me that somebody did not have themselves a copy or some type of toy for Static Shock. I sure as hell didn't see any. I never saw any. It wasn't that they were sold out. I doubt they existed, or the stores that I went to carried them. That was problem one. But they're claiming that because of the low toy sales, that's what prevented them from actually doing the whole thing. Really. So it ends on a cliffhanger with Hot Streak and Ebon merging together to form some unholy abomination upon us that gets supposedly stopped, and that's how it ends. Just like that. And then you bring back Static Shock for Young Justice. If at any point DC and WB want to pull their heads out of their hamster holes, I'd be more than happy to watch the DC properties. I'm not going to argue that their animated stuff isn't top quality. So long as it's not Teen Titans Go, they actually know what they're doing when it comes to animation. That doesn't mean that Marvel doesn't. Honestly, if you give me the two comparisons, I think Marvel's going to do a better job with heroes than DC is. What's DC's biggest thing they keep rebooting all the time because they keep screwing it the hell up? Batman and Superman. How many Batman and Superman movies have we had in the last 10 years? Superman Returns. Batman v Superman. You've had how many Batman movies? There was Batman, hell, not even in the last 10 years. Let's just skip it back, go to the last 20 years. Hell, the last 30 years. You had Batman and Robin with George Clooney. The only good thing about that was Arnold Schwarzenegger playing Mr. Freeze, because Mr. Freeze is one of my favorite villains. He's the one I feel the most sorry for in Batman. You want to know why? Because he's in Batman! He could be his own villain! Have a Marvel series with a villain in it, give it to Mr. Freeze, and have Mr. Freeze go over into the Marvel world. Honestly, I'm pissed at this. DC's got some good characters with them, and they don't know what to do with. Green Lantern got the short end of the stick. Let's all remember that Ryan Reynolds movie. That was an abomination. But that was Green Lantern's movie. The Flash gets the royal screw job, Mr. Freeze gets fucked over, and now Static Shock. But yet, Aquaman got a movie. Aquaman. He talks to fish. I'm sorry, Jason Momoa can be such a badass in that till hell freezes over. Aquaman talks to fish. He controls water. He talks to fish. That's a great superpower to have. What's your superpower? Well, I can control water. Oh, that's really cool. And I talk to fish. Really? Okay, no, I'm out. Wonder Woman was fine. I never had an issue with Wonder Woman. In fact, I think she's one of the only decent things the DC Universe has. Batman's an annoying crybaby that keeps moping and complaining about everything. He's rich. The guy is rich. He owns a family-owned company. He's rich. He takes in orphans, which is creepy enough in its own special way. He's rich. He screwed Batgirl. He's rich. Clark Kent barely makes a living as a paperman, a reporter, journalist for the Daily Planet. Bruce Wayne is rich. And you wonder why I have issues with DC. Seriously? Warner Brothers doesn't know what the hell they're doing. The DCEU was a joke. My God, it was a train wreck. But does Warner Brothers decide to fix it? Hell no! What do they want to do? Live-action anime adaptations. Anybody hearing Akira? Yep. It's just one of those wonderful screw you moments, isn't it? God damn. Whereas, how's Marvel doing? Well, let's see. Cinematic universe built out over the last 10 plus years. Preparing to finish that up this year with Endgame to start fresh with something else. You got Spider-Man, the one movie that gets constantly rebooted that we don't own yet, that's actually doing quite well and getting its own second movie from the new guy, who made appearances in 2 other movies and had his own movie. Yeah! This isn't bad at all. But then, the topper. They actually have a conglomerate universe that actually works with one another. You have Iron Man that started the MCU, and Endgame that's going to finish the MCU. At least that portion of it. What does WB and DC have? What does DC have? Wonder Woman and Aquaman. Because Justice League was a joke. Batman v Superman was a screw you fest. Everything was teased in other movies as jokes. Yeah, the joke was on them. Not us, them. Why is it that this just didn't pan out that way? You have such good characters that just can't get ahead. You know what? I would be a humongous fan of this. Why doesn't Marvel get rid of some of their crappy characters? And they have a few, I won't deny that. Send your crappy characters over to DC and grab some of the good characters from DC before they sink down with the ship. That's like the Titanic sinking. You know it's bad, you know it's coming, but yet you can't stop it. And you're just sitting there helpless as they're basically fighting for the last lifeboat and realizing that if you try getting close to them, the great Warner Brothers shark is going to swallow you whole. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you think Static Shock and some of the other DC properties should stay with DC, or should they actually get moved over to Marvel and be given the respect they deserve? Or are they fine where they're at and I'm just crazy? Let me know in the comment section below. And until next time, I'm Andrew Rhodes, and this has been Andrew Rants.